Hi everybody, it's Barbara and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am bringing you 6 Dollar Tree Valentine DIYs, so let's go ahead and get started on our first project. I will be using the sign from Dollar Tree that has this nice wooden frame around it, and I'm going to begin by removing the hanger from the back. I'm then going to try to remove most of the glitter from the front, so I used my hair dryer to loosen up the glue that's holding that glitter on, and then I can take my sandpaper and go over each of those letters until I get most of the glitter off and get it nice and smooth. Once that is finished, I'm going to take the sign as well as 4 of the tumbling tower pieces from Dollar Tree, and I am going to paint these with my Waverly White chalk paint. So I made sure that I painted all of the outside edges of the tumbling tower pieces, and then I gave the inside of the sign 2 coats, and I also made sure I painted the sides. So the wooden part I only gave 1 coat because I'm going to be covering that up with some gingham print ribbon that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I did get this on sale. And I go ahead and hold that up to determine how long I need to cut it to cover up the sides. Once I determined that length, I went ahead and cut 2 of those down. And then to hold those in place, I'm going to be using some hot glue. Now the ribbon is slightly wider than the wood part of the frame, so I did line that up with the inside part of the wood frame. And then I tack that down at the top and the bottom with some hot glue, and then I can wrap those excess pieces around and glue those to the back of the sign. Then I took the other piece and I'm going to put that on the left-hand side of the sign, but I did make sure that I lined the pattern up just like I had it on the right-hand side. And I'm going to do that the exact same way with the hot glue and lining it up to the inside of the wood part of the sign. And then I'm going to go in and put some glue underneath each one of those ribbons just to hold those in place. And then I can do the bottom and the top part of the sign. Again, making sure that I line that pattern up and giving myself enough ribbon to be able to wrap around to the back part of the sign. And I absolutely love how this gingham print looks with this bright white. Let me know in the comments down below if you love gingham print and buffalo check just as much as I do. After I get all of the glue under the ribbon and hold that down in place, I can go onto the back and tack all of that down with glue. And then to decorate this, I am using this metal truck sign that I found at Dollar General for $1. I'm going to take some pliers and just bend that hanger and remove it, and it was super easy to take that off. And then I can attach my tumbling tower pieces to the back of the sign, and I am using E6000 and hot glue to hold those in place. So I chose to use the E6000 because this is a metal sign, and I wanted to make sure that those tumbling tower pieces stayed on there. But when I attach it to the actual sign that we just put the ribbon on, I'm only going to be using hot glue. So once I get those 4 tumbling tower pieces in place, I can just line this up to determine exactly where I want to put it. And then I can apply a good amount of hot glue to each one of those tumbling tower pieces. And then I'm going to hold that in place and press firmly until that glue sets up. Then I took some jute rope to create a hanger for the back, and I did put my hanger a little bit lower down on the sign just so that you wouldn't see it in case I wanted to set the sign up rather than hang it. You would not be able to see that hanger. Then I took some little extra pieces of craft stick and hot glued that on top of each part of the hanger just to give it some added stability. And then this project is finished. I absolutely love how it turned out. I love that pop of color with that dark red and the pink and then that gingham print and the white. I just think it's so beautiful. Let me know what you think of project number 1. Today's video is part of a mini Valentine top, which is hosted by Jelena at Blondie Next Door, and it has some amazing and talented crafters in it. I will have a link to Jelena's video as well as the next Lady in the Hops video, so please go over and show these ladies some love and let them know that I sent you. Now let's get started on project number 2. I'm using this heart-shaped wired wreath form from Dollar Tree, And I'm going to use some burlap ribbon. This came from burlapfabric.com, and I will have a link to their website in my description box if you are interested. I begin by gluing the fabric ribbon to itself around the bottom part of the wreath form. Now be careful if you are using this particular ribbon because it has some spaces in there. If you're not wearing finger protectors, just be super careful because that glue will seep through and it could burn your fingers. I'm just going to wrap this ribbon around the wreath form until I wrap it about halfway around the previous burlap ribbon, and I'm going to make sure that I pull it very tightly as I go around. I only had to use the glue at the beginning and the end of wrapping this. When I get to the bottom, I'm just going to take that extra piece, cut it a little bit longer than one of the first pieces that I started with, and then tuck that in, and then I could take some hot glue and put that under there to hold that last little piece in place. To decorate this, I am using another one of those metal truck signs. Again, this came from Dollar General for $1. And I'm going to remove the hanger just like I did in project number 1. Then I'm going to take some E6000 and some hot glue, and I'm going to apply this directly to my burlap on the wreath form. And I do hold that in place a good little bit to make sure that that glue sets up and that that metal truck sign's not going to come off of this wreath form. Then I'm going to take some ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take 3 different kinds to make a very simple bow. And I just held that up to see about how long I wanted that to be. And then I'm going to cut down 2 sections of all 3 of these ribbons. Once I have all of those cut down, I'm then going to alternate those, and then I make sure, like the little burlap part with the hearts, I make sure that they go opposite each other when I put the second one down. And once I have those laid out, I'm just going to take some hemp rope and tie that around into a knot, and then spread my ribbon out, and then I can cut my excess hemp rope off, and then I can glue that to the top part of the wreath form. Then I took some jute rope, because this burlap had some fraying to it. I took the jute rope, which has a little bit of fraying to it as well, and made a messy bow just by wrapping that around my fingers and then tying it together in a knot in the middle. And then once I have that tied together, I can glue my messy bow on top of that simple bow. Now, when I did this, I wish I had left those tails on there because that is super cute. But I do go in and cut those tails off, which it's still cute, but I just think it would have been cuter if I'd have left the tails on there. But this project is finished. I love how it turned out. Let me know what you think of project number 2. If this is your first time visiting my channel and you're enjoying today's DIYs, I would love for you to click that subscribe button and the notification bell below this video. Also, if you would like to visit me on Instagram, I am at Country Lily Decor. For project number 3, I'm going to be using this heart-shaped wooden plaque from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take some Dollar Tree sandpaper, which they sell in a pack in the hardware section. And I'm going to sand this down nice and smooth. The grooves right there on the outside of that heart are extremely rough, and I wanted it to have a nice smooth finish. I'm going to take one of the tumbling tower pieces and glue it to the back part of the heart right there at the bottom so that this will be able to stand on its own. Then I am going to take some Waverly White chalk paint, and I'm going to paint this entire piece with 2 coats. So I like to put a thin coat on, let that dry, or you can use a heating tool to speed the process up a little bit, and then I can give it a second coat. Once that is dry, I am going to take one of Dollar Tree's wooden heart stickers, and I'm going to take that pink one. It has this little felt sticker thing on the back. I'm going to remove that because I didn't want it to stand up as high as that sticker was. And I'm going to apply some hot glue to the back of that and center it right into this heart. This is a super simple and easy DIY, but I absolutely love how it turned out, and it goes so well with the next project that we're going to be doing. Let me know what you think of this super cute heart. So for project number 4, I'm going to be using this MDF love sign from Dollar Tree. And I go ahead and remove that hanger. And then I am going to take this sign and give it one coat of my Waverly White chalk paint. And while that is drying, I'm just going to take a piece of cardboard, just standard cardboard, and I'm going to give that a coat of paint on both sides of that cardboard. And then I'm also going to give a second coat of paint to the love sign. So once all of that has dried, I am going to apply that cardboard to the back part of the sign right there where the heart is. And I'm just going to attach that with some hot glue. And then I'm going to take another, I'm going to take one of those tumbling tower pieces, and it was a little bit longer than I needed it to fit down inside that heart, so I did use my handsaw and cut that off a little bit. And then I'm going to take another one of those wood DIY stickers from Dollar Tree and glue the tumbling tower piece to the back part of this heart. And then I can glue this inside of the heart shape on the love sign, and it fit perfect. And I love the way this pink pops off. It is so cute. This looks really, really good with the previous project we just did. And I actually have this sitting in my living room, and I absolutely love it. Let me know what you think of this project as well. So for project number 5, I will be using some of these felt stickers from Dollar Tree. They come in a package. And I'm going to be using the pink and white ones, and I'm going to start off with some hemp rope. And I'm going to glue one of the pink ones down at the very bottom, and I'm going to place this straight, so where the heart shape is, right there straight. And then I'm going to go and alternate between the white and the pink, except I'm going to tilt these a little bit as I go up. So one's going to lean more to the right, and then the next one will lean to the left, until I have, I think I put 5 on there. And the 5th one I'm going to put straight up just like I did at the bottom. I am going to be using this white canister that I have previously DIY'd. If you'd like to see that, I will link that in the cards above if you'd like to see how I DIY this canister. And I purchased this from Dollar General. And I'm just going to tie what we just made right there around the bow, because I didn't want to glue it, because I like to be able to use this canister for different seasons. Once I tie that around the bow, I can just tuck that in under where the little bow is tied so that you won't see where it's hanging down from. And then to decorate this cute little canister, I'm going to be using some Dollar Tree florals. So I'm going to use 2 different kinds of roses. These buds are a little bit more closed than the second bundle. They're just a little bit more open and just a little bit different color. And then I'm going to use some baby's breath from Dollar Tree as well. So I went ahead and cut all of my florals off of the bunches, and for the roses, I made sure I pushed the leaves all the way up, but then I removed the leaves from the baby's breath. I then took part of a pool noodle and cut that down to the height that I needed to fit into the canister, and it fit perfectly. Then I'm going to take my roses and baby's breath and insert those into the pool noodle, just alternating around with the different roses and the baby's breath until I get it nice and full the way that I think it looks nice. And I think this is gorgeous. I actually have this sitting on my island in a tray that I made in a previous DIY, and I just think it's beautiful. Let me know what you think of this project as well. So for our final project of the day, this is so easy. I'm using one of these glass heart-shaped containers from Dollar Tree, and then some of their red heart-shaped table scatter, and I just poured that into the glass container and fill that up with water, and then the scatter will sink down to the bottom once the water's in there a little bit. Then I'm going to take one of these floating candles, again from Dollar Tree, and then place that inside the water. And then I did fill it up a little bit more so that the candle would float. And this project is finished. It is so simple, yet it is so elegant and so beautiful. I love how this one turned out. You guys, if you have a favorite, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, please don't forget to go check out the next lady in this hop. Let them know that I sent you over. Please take care, and I will see you guys next time.